Okay, guys, we are back. I have a COPPA update for you guys here. The FTC has actually tweeted back at me, the official FTC account here, and they've actually released an entire blog post about this whole issue. So obviously, a lot of viewers, a lot of content creators, a lot of YouTubers are speaking out about this. They're causing an outrage about this. You know, obviously, our jobs, the whole entire platform of YouTube is at risk here. And the FTC has responded with an entire blog post talking about what's going on with this and how everything is going to work. Obviously, a lot of people are curious. Are you going to get fined, $42,000 for making videos? A lot of viewers are asking me and say, hey, Kreek, I make videos, Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite. Am I going to get fined $42,000? So in this video, we're going to go through what the FTC has officially said on this as of today. And then if you guys are not yet subscribed and you're curious, hit that subscribe button, because tomorrow I'm going to be making an entire video dedicated to Roblox specifically, because throughout this blog post here, there are some clues as to whether or not Roblox is safe. So if you're curious about Roblox, if you're another Roblox YouTuber, definitely be subscribed to all that stuff, because I'm going to make a video on that tomorrow. But let's go ahead and let's just hop into this, because honestly, this is really important, and let's just go through this. So the FTC tweeted, they said, here's a new FTC blog post that provides guidance to help content creators determine if their channels are child-directed and whether they have to comply with COPPA. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to what is child-directed, but the blog details some factors to consider, such as the subject matter, visual content, use of animated characters, type of music, age of models, and the presence of child celebrities. It also says that the FTC considers several factors when deciding to seek monetary penalties, i.e., sue you or fine you for COPPA violations, such as the company's financial condition and impact a penalty that can have on the ability to stay in business. Or in other words, if they sue me, $100 million, I'm not going to have any dollars left. So they wouldn't do that, is what they're saying, or at least they're saying they wouldn't do that. And then obviously you can leave comments about this here. If you want the page to leave comments on this, I'll have a link to this down in the description, and you can leave a comment and tell them what you think about this issue. But okay, strap yourselves in, guys, because here we go. We're gonna go through this thing. Let me just zoom in, and let's just go through this thing piece by piece. So under COPPA, how do I know if my channel is directed to children? Since the FTC and New York Attorney General announced that their September 2019 settlement with YouTube for violations of the COPPA rule, we've heard that question from channel owners, sometimes called content creators. Here they kind of just explain, what's going on here and where we got to this point, how we got to this point. So we're just gonna skip this. We already know how we got here, obviously. It says the provision of this settlement has raised questions among content creators about how to determine if what they upload to YouTube or other platforms is directed to children. Now, this is really important here because it says other platforms. I know a lot of people have mentioned, oh, I'm just going to go to Twitch then, or I'm just going to go to Mixer. No, you're not, because other platforms, yeah, they're going to come for those too, okay? This isn't just a YouTube issue. This is an internet issue, okay? This isn't just YouTube. The answer requires a brief summary of key COPPA provisions. Passed by Congress in 1998, COPPA is a federal law that protects the privacy of children under 13. We, of course, already know that. The FTC enforces the law through COPPA, yada, yada. You can't collect personal information from kids. Okay, we know that. The COPPA rule defines personal information to include obvious things like a child's first and last name or home address, but that's not all. Under COPPA, personal information also covers what are called persistent identifiers, or behind-the-scene code that recognizes a user over time. So what that means is basically if a kid goes on YouTube and YouTube tracks what videos they like, then they're collecting data on what that child likes, and they are saying that that is illegal. Keep in mind that an operator may also collect personal information through an open comment field on its site or service that allows a user under 13 to make personal information publicly available. For example, think of a comment like this on a child-directed site. My name is Mary Jones from Springfield. I love this video. Well, first off, I've never heard of this Mary Jones from Springfield, and I don't really know why Mary Jones from Springfield will comment that, but obviously they're talking about the YouTube comment section here. That's what they're talking about. They're calling it out right there. But okay, here we go. How COPPA applies to channel owners. So how does COPPA apply to channel owners who upload their content to YouTube or another third-party platform, i.e. Twitch, Mixer, DLive, whatever it is? COPPA applies in the same way it would if the channel owner had its own website or app. If a channel owner uploads content to a platform like YouTube, the channel might meet the definition of a website or online service covered by COPPA, depending on the nature of the content and the information collected. If the content is directed to children, and if the channel owner or someone on its behalf, for example, an ad network, so if you're in an MCN or something like that, collects personal information from viewers of that content, the channel is covered by COPPA. So again, we know this stuff. Okay. How channel owners can determine if their content is directed to children. Under COPPA, there is no one-size-fits-all answer about what makes a site directed to children, but we can offer some guidance. To be clear, your content is not considered directed to children just because some children may see it. However, if your intended audience is kids under 13, you're covered by COPPA and have to honor the rules requirements. Now, This is quite big because obviously this is one of the answers we had. So for example, I consider my content aimed towards teenagers. I play more mature Roblox games, not, a lot of the kid-based one. So I consider my audience to be directed to 13 and up. It's always been like that, especially now. And what they're saying here is that your content is not going to be considered directed to children just because some children may see it. So I don't know what some children mean. Is that 20%? Is that 30%? Is that 40%? Is that 50% of your audience? Like, what does that mean here? Like, obviously, no YouTuber knows what percentage of their audience is or is not kids. Obviously, PewDiePie has a lot of kids watching. Is PewDiePie for kids? No, but he has a lot of kids watching. It's just every YouTuber has a lot of kids watching. So I don't know how they expect us to figure this out. But anyway, what this means is if you do stuff like, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty or a similar game like that, you're probably going to be fine. That's basically what that's saying there. But it goes on and says that the rule sets out additional factors the FTC will consider in determining whether your content is child-directed, such as the subject matter of the video, i.e. the context of the video. So are you a kid that's unboxing toys made for kids, or are you a dude showing everyone how to repair his car? Visual content, the use of animated characters or child-oriented activities and incentives. Now, I don't really know what this means as in child-oriented activities. Like, what exactly does that mean? The kind of music or other audio content, again, not really sure what that means. Like, how do you define what a kid song is? Are they talking about the Wheels on the Bus, or are they talking about Mariah Carey? Like, I don't know. The age of models, so basically the age of people in that video. So if you have a video with a kid in it, it's probably going to appeal to kids. So this means you can't have kids in videos anymore. That's it. No more kids in videos. The presence of child celebrities or celebrities who appeal to children. Okay. Language or other characteristics. No idea what that means. Language. Yeah, I use words to communicate. That is known as language. You passed first grade English class, FTC. I'm so proud of you. Whether advertising that promotes or appears on the site is directed to children, and competent, reliable evidence about the age of the audience. Now, I'm not really sure how we're going to get the reliable evidence about the age of the audience. Like, obviously I'm not going to go to every one of my viewers' houses and be like, yes, excuse me, are you under 13? Yeah, let me just, excuse me, can I come in and see if your child is under 13? Like, I don't know how they expect what this is. I don't know. Anyway, it goes on to say the determination of whether content is child directed will be clearer in some contexts than in others, but we can share some general rules of thumb. First, unless you're affirmatively targeting kids, there are many subject matter categories where you don't have to worry about COPPA. For example, if your videos are about traditionally adult activities like employment, finances, politics, home ownership, home improvement, or travel, you're probably not covered unless your content is geared towards kids. So what this means is that at the beginning of every one of my videos, we're going to talk about the president for about 5 seconds. President is orange. Okay, there it is. There it is right there. Let's move on. The same would be true for videos aimed at high school or college students. On the other hand, if your content includes traditionally children pastime or activities, it may be child-directed. Again, I don't know what a children pastime is. Like, what does that mean? For example, the FTC recently determined that an online dress-up game was child-directed. Now, this online dress-up game that they gave as an example here is, let me actually pull up a picture of it. So here is a picture of the kid website that they deemed was kid-oriented. This is it right here. Let me just open this up in another tab. So that's a kid game according to the FTC. No, honestly, I would agree. I believe this does count as a kid game. I mean, it's a dress up thing. Kids love dress up. I mean, we got to be real here for a second. Dress up games are definitely kid oriented games for sure. And this is definitely, I mean, it's a kid game. I mean, you can look at this and see that this is definitely a kid game here. Okay. Now, what does this mean for other games? I don't know. What about Fortnite? What about Roblox? What about Minecraft? I don't know, but it seems dress up stuff is definitely a no-no. So if you do dress up games, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's keep reading here. Second, just because your video has bright colors or animated characters does not mean you're automatically covered by COPPA. While many animated shows are directed to kids, the FTC recognizes that there is animated programming that appeals to everyone. So again, I don't know what exactly they mean. Obviously, I'm guessing they're talking about Deadpool and stuff like that and South Park, but honestly, I don't know because they didn't give any specific examples, so I don't know. Third, the complaint in the YouTube case offers some examples of channels the FTC considered to be directed to children. For example, many content creators explicitly stated in the About section of their channel that their intended audience was children under 13. Other channels made similar statements in communication with YouTube. In addition, many of the channels featured popular animated children's programs or showed kids playing with toys or participating in other child-oriented activities. Some of the channel owners also enabled settings that made their content appear when users searched for the names of popular toys or animated characters. Now, it also says if you want to see the analysis in context, read pages 10 to 14 of the YouTube complaint, and I actually have that up somewhere here. Here it is right here. This is the official YouTube complaint letter that the FTC wrote. Now, there's some interesting information on here. So these are the channels that YouTube has set aside and been like, okay, these channels are child directed. Okay, so these are our examples. So let's take a look at what they say. Okay, so let's go through here. Again, this is the official FTC document here. Okay, this is what the FTC has said. Okay, toy brand Mattel, including Barbie, Monster High, Hot Wheels, and Thomas and Friends. Okay, I can agree. Those are probably for kids. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Cartoon Network. Steven Universe, Powerpuff Girls, Look, I love Powerpuff Girls. Okay. I'm going to disagree with you, but I'll agree with you on Steven Universe and Teen. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's probably for kids. Okay. We'll give them that one. Okay. Sure. Cartoon Network, probably for kids. Okay. All right. My Little Pony, Littlest Pet Shop, Hanazuki. I have no idea what that is. And Play-Doh Town. Okay. Seems fair. That seems like kid content. Sure. DreamWorks TV. A YouTube channel that shows several animated children's shows, including Dragons, Race to the Edge, Troll Hunters, and Shrek. Okay, let's move on here. YouTube channel Masha and the Bear shows animated videos about a girl named Masha and her friend Bear. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, here is Masha and the Bear. Okay, I can agree. This is probably directed to children. Sure. Okay. All right. I agree with them. Let's see what else we got here. Bratele. Bratele is a popular channel featuring children engaging in scenarios with their parents. Okay. Cookie Swirl is a popular children's unboxing channel. Okay. Sandaroo Kids is a popular channel showing family-friendly parodies and skits for kids. Let's take a look at this. Sandaroo Kids. Let's take a look, see what we got. Okay, so they have literally kids in their title and stuff. So, okay, this is sure. Okay, yeah, this is definitely kid stuff. Okay, all right. You get this one, FTC. You get this one. EvanTube HD is a popular channel in which Evan, currently 13 years old, reviews toys and video games. Little Baby Bum is a channel showing nursery rhymes. Mother Goose Club is a channel showing, again, nursery rhymes. Toy Scouter, nursery rhyme videos. So you guys can probably see a pattern here. Now, real quick, I'm not a lawyer on this, okay? So take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. But based on these examples, we can note some patterns here about what they're talking about. They're talking about toy unboxings, okay? And they're talking about obvious kid toys. We're talking, My Little Pony, Play-Doh, Hasbro stuff. So Barbie, stuff like that, okay? And then they're obviously talking about, like child animated stuff. Like we can agree that this is probably animated for kids. That's definitely a kid video, okay? That's 100% kid video. Definitely. Yeah, it's Blue's Clues. Okay. Now, this is one thing I do want to point out. Okay. This is one thing I really do want to point out very quickly here. The FTC mentions two things here that are very important. The first thing they mention is that in a lot of these channels, in the About section, they straight up say that they're for kids. So let me actually pull it up right here. For example, the popular YouTube channel's About section says the channel is entertaining and educating for children and parents. The About section says family-friendly content every day. Watch these crazy kids that make every day an adventure. The About section describes itself as a unique toy channel with family-friendly videos inspired by sugary, cute toys. The About section says we love dressing in Disney princess costumes and teaching kids how to learn colors. The About section says looking for fun, family-friendly YouTube comment, and it's all about kid fun. So you can tell if you have the word family-friendly or kid in your About section, do not do that, all right? Don't do it. Dennis, I love you. I'm going to use you as an example here, Dennis, okay? Again, I'm not a lawyer here, but I was looking through. Dennis straight up says kid-friendly videos. Also, again, not a lawyer, but I would stay away from toy stuff. You can see there's a lot of toys in here, and if we go back to this, what do they mention? They mention, kids. There's the word kids, and toys. There's toys. Nah. I'm never doing KreekCraft toys, dude. Never happening. We're gonna do KreekCraft underwear. Okay, if you guys want some KreekCraft underwear, let me know down in the comment section below. Now, something else, the last thing I want to point out here is that the content regularly appears on YouTube Kids, okay? And that's mentioned in all of these channels here. YouTube Kids, okay? YouTube Kids right there, YouTube Kids. All of these channels show up on YouTube Kids. So it seems that when deciding if your channel is for kids or not, YouTube is actually, or the FTC is actually going to be looking at the YouTube Kids app here. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to go on YouTube Kids and I'll show you how you can look and see if your content is on here. So once you load up YouTube Kids and you go through the whole thing, you can search here and you can search YouTube Kids for a specific channel or video. So I'm just going to look up KreekCraft, and you can see when I search up KreekCraft, there is no KreekCraft on there. That's it. There's no KreekCraft videos on here at all. Now, for contrast, I'm going to use Dennis as an example here. Dennis, I love you, but if you search up Dennis, you can see there's a lot of Dennis videos on here. And if we go into one of these videos, you can see it's Dennis, right? There he is. There he is. There's the man. So again, I'm not a lawyer, but from what it seems here, those are the three things that the FTC is looking for: toys, the About section, and the YouTube Kids app. Now, it also says that this rule allows for penalties up to $42,530 per violation, but the FTC considers a number of factors in determining the appropriate amount, including a company's financial condition and the impact a penalty could have on its ability to stay in business. So what they're saying here is for, like PewDiePie, they might make him pay $42,000. For, I don't know, a smaller YouTuber, maybe it'll be $1,000 or $2,000 or something a little bit less. Now, this is the other big thing. Isn't the FTC taking another look at the COPPA rule? Yes, it is. They are evaluating the rule in light of rapid changes in technology. Leave a comment, guys. Go to this page. I'm going to leave a link to this page down in the comment. Go, or in the description, leave a comment on this page. We can fix this. We can stop this. And yeah, I think that's about it for this video. So go ahead and subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to make a video on Roblox specifically tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And go leave a comment, guys. It's very, 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 very important. Okay, if you want to save YouTube, go leave a comment on this page. Okay, you just type words in here. Okay, you type in a name, you click continue, and you write it, you submit comment, bada bing, bada boom. That's all you got to do. Thank you guys so much for watching, though, and hopefully we don't lose our jobs in January. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.